G'day shredders. So sadly we recently learned that legendary Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley has passed away. And I thought it would be nice to pay tribute to Ace by celebrating some of his amazing guitar playing and teaching you some of his choice licks. He always had this unique swagger to his playing that was loud and raw and unapologetic. And I think that because of those traits, that's why his playing resonated with so many of us. He was one of those players who had a really identifiable style and sound. A lot of guys plugged a Les Paul into a Marshall, but none of them sounded the same as Ace. So today I'm using my trusty 2007 Gibson Les Paul, and in true Spaceman style, we're tuned to E-flat tuning. And I've got the neck pickup turned all the way down here. Sadly, I don't have any smoke or fireworks hidden in the neck pickup like Ace did, because I actually still like to use my neck pickup occasionally. Also, I'll make sure to include the tab from today in the Gods of Shred download section, so you can get the amplitude preset and the tabs from there for free. Just check out the link below. Alright, so the first lick I'm going to teach you is what I call the Pentatonic Trills. So this is a lick taken from the outro solo of the song Deuce, or Deuce as we would say it here in Australia. And we're going to do it in the key of E minor. So what we're going to do is start by barring these two strings, the first and second string, with the index finger. And then with the ring finger, we're just going to do a hammer on to the 15th fret. So I'm just doing an up pick here, hammer on, pull off. And then with the down pick, we're going to do the same thing on the B string. Now we could be lazy and just leave the index finger here. We don't have to do that kind of stuff. If there is a little bit of spill in the lick, don't stress. It'll just add to that Ace Frehley charm. So that's the whole lick. We literally go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just picking up, down, up, down. Now this lick doesn't have to be executed perfectly to work. It can be a little bit sloppy and still retain its charm. But weirdly, it's quite an intuitive and easy way to shred. Alright, so next up it's time to talk about Chicken Pickin. So this is a wonderful technique, but the name Chicken Pickin is much more associated with the country picking concept, where we use hybrid picking to get that nice clucky tone. That's not what we're talking about here. This technique is completely different, but equally awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by bending the ring finger note in the G string in our E minor pentatonic shape, and we're just going to go Alright, so focusing on the picking hand for a moment, all we do is a down strum, and we just rest the side of the thumb against the string once we're there. And we just kill the sound. We get a little bit of a pinch harmonic while we do it as well. And then we do an up strum, and that's when the note can actually ring out proper. So we have this little macaque. And it naturally lends itself to that nice syncopated rhythm. Dat 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 dat. And it works great when you do it on a bend and you slowly release it like this. And then I think it's important to land the playing with a lick afterwards, like, which is actually a whole nother challenge. Now, by the way, the tone I'm using today is my Spaceman amplitude preset. You can get this free from my website. I've included it in the download section of my brand new free course, Gods of Shred. There's already 2 modules in this course. One focuses on King Edward and the other on the neoclassical maestro. I've also got a third one on the way dedicated to Randy Rhoads. So if you're into any of those players, click on the link and check it out. For a while now, I've actually been considering making an Ace Frehley course. If this is something you're interested in, please let me know in the comments below and I'll get to work. Alright, next up I want to talk about Ace's bends and vibrato. So it almost sounds like a siren or something. And it's so distinct because most guitarists would do a bend, but they wouldn't necessarily do it with such rhythmic consistency. So it's often in time with the song, and it's kind of half bend and half vibrato, because vibrato would usually be a bit less, like, and a bend would be, and he kind of takes both concepts and mashes them together. So all I'm doing is I'm just playing this note here on the 15th fret, and I'm trying to bend it up roughly to our E note. Now, usually when you bend, it's paramount that you bend in tune, like that. But in this case, you just need to bend it roughly in tune and then let it descend. And you just do that motion repeatedly as if you're doing vibrato. It sounds so wild. There's almost a childish excitement about it. Alright, so this is that great pentatonic lick from the song Love Gun. And it works great over a shuffle, but you can also inject it over a straight feel as well. So once again, we're in the key of E, and I'm just using my middle finger to bend the ring finger note so that we can free up the ring finger for the rest of the lick. The index finger is just going to be on 12 and 12, and we're just going to go down, up. So let's get that sorted first. So you can actually leave it all ringing as you go. You don't need to stop one note before starting the next. And we're trying to bend this roughly up to our B note. But accuracy is not important in this example. So we do that twice, and then we go. So we're going to go ring finger on 15, pull off. Middle finger on 14, pull off. So, and then ring finger on 15 on the string above. So there's a few things you can do after this. You can do nothing if you're new to the lick and you just want to get it under your fingers, but if you're comfortable with that, you can put an up on the high E. Now, when I cover Love Gun, I like to fill in the gaps. So rather than go, I like to go. So if you want to add a little bit more articulation to the lick, you can just do that instead of, so I'm going down, up, down, up, down. So that gives it a little bit more of a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of vibe. But I noticed live that Ace just goes, it's way easier and it sounds 90% as good. Next up, I want to talk about the stutter switch. So those of you with a Les Paul style guitar or any guitar where you can change the volume of the pickups independently can do this trick very easily. So basically all we do is we make sure to turn the volume of the neck pickup all the way off and we leave the bridge pickup all the way on. Obviously it works the other way as well, but it's as simple as that. It's literally just taking the pickup selector and changing the position and turning it into an on-off switch. And it's such a powerful yet simple and analog tool to get such a modern sounding effect. So it works best when you're doing, say, a double stop. So I really like this one. So the ring finger note, the pinky finger note, and you can even flatten the pinky and get that high G in there as well and go. And just bend it and then gradually release it while you're still doing the on-off switch. Kind of sounds like a pod racer, doesn't it? Watch out for Sebulba. Once again, like the Chicken Pickin lick, the trick is landing it afterwards. So you can do this, but then trying to make sense of it afterwards is probably the harder part. So next up I want to talk about unison bends. So this is a wonderful technique because it takes that wild bend vibrato thing we talked about before and it adds another layer of jeopardy because we've got this note here with the index finger on the 5th fret of the B string and then we're bending up this G string note on the 7th fret up to the same pitch. Now it works fine if you just do that. And that's something Ace does do. So often he'll do that with a staccato feel where he'll actually just kill the sound for a moment. So it can feel quite stark on its own, but in a mix in a stadium, that kind of thing really pops through and everyone can hear it very clearly. But it really comes alive when we do that bend vibrato thing. Now Ace would mostly do these on the B string and G string. But you can also do them on the E string and B string. So doing it off the B and the E string feels a little bit strange because you've got to do that wider stretch, and also the B string is at a higher tension, so you've got to push a bit harder. And you just want to work out where all the notes are in the key around, and then just practice doing the unison bends off those notes. Alright, so finally I want to talk about these little pentatonic trills that Ace would do. So this is a really cool and very easy technique that Ace somehow made his own. It's a very juicy concept and it pops through the mix beautifully. So all we're doing is we're just going and then going to the next note in the scale. So we're just here in our E minor pentatonic scale. And then when we get to the next note, we cut it off. So it's all about that staccato sound. We want, and all we're going to do is just repeat the lick on the string above, just through the same scale shape. So you can take this lick and take all these other licks I've taught you today and combine them together to make a really authentic sounding Ace Frehley style solo. So of course Ace has plenty more ideas and licks and concepts in his playing, but I just thought I'd give you just a little snapshot just to get you started. And I think sitting down and learning a few Kiss songs, or even just putting on an E flat minor pentatonic backing track and just practicing to apply these licks is a great way to celebrate Ace and what he meant to the guitar community. While the Spaceman is gone, he's left us so much great music to pour over and learn from and enjoy. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you want to get this free amplitude preset that I'm using today, as well as tabs for today's lesson, then just click in the link below. Alright shredders, see you next time.